The first body appeared beside the aqueduct at sunrise. No wounds. No poison. Just gray skin and frozen eyes staring toward the sky. By noon, 20 more Romans collapsed across the city. The Senate blamed plague. But one young scientist noticed every victim had touched the water first. Cassian stood beneath Rome's largest reservoir while soldiers dragged corpses through crowded streets above him. The water smelled wrong. Metallic. Bitter. Ancient pipes dripped strange white dust into the current. When he lit a torch beside the canal, the flame briefly turned green before disappearing completely. That night, Cassian tested the water using crushed herbs and heated silver plates inside his tiny workshop. The liquid hissed black smoke against the metal. He realized the impossible truth slowly tightening his chest. Rome's own engineering masterpiece was poisoning the entire empire from within. At sunrise, Cassian rushed toward the Senate carrying jars of contaminated water wrapped inside cloth. Guards laughed before allowing him through the marble halls. The senators listened silently until he accused the aqueduct system itself. Then the room exploded with anger. Rome's pride could never be the enemy. The oldest senator stepped closer and whispered carefully into Cassian's ear. If Rome's water is deadly, panic destroys us before poison ever will. By evening, soldiers seized Cassian's workshop, burned his research, and ordered him never to speak publicly again. That was when he understood the danger wasn't disease. 3 days later, people kept dying. Bakers collapsed beside ovens. Children fainted in marketplaces. Wealthy families secretly abandoned the city at night. Meanwhile, Rome's fountains still flowed endlessly through crowded streets like beautiful monuments to death. Cassian realized silence was no longer survival. It was participation. Using stolen tools, Cassian built a primitive filtration device inside abandoned catacombs beneath Rome. Sand, charcoal, and heated clay purified small amounts of water successfully. For the first time in weeks, someone drank safely without collapsing afterward. Hope entered the underground chambers like fragile sunlight breaking through stone. Word spread quietly among workers, slaves, and desperate mothers.
We must reach the
Crowds
lower
arrived
levels.
carrying broken cups and stolen containers through hidden tunnels after dark. Cassian's underground filters saved dozens each night. Above them, Rome continued celebrating festivals while funerals multiplied daily. Two completely different cities now existed beneath the same empire. A military commander named Lucius visited the catacombs alone with 20 armed guards waiting outside. Instead of arresting Cassian, he offered protection. Rome's western legions had started collapsing mysteriously during marches. Entire battalions suffered madness, weakness, and violent confusion. Lucius believed the poisoned water threatened the army itself.
Then prove it.
Together, Cassian and Lucius secretly inspected military reservoirs beyond the city walls. The contamination was everywhere. Lead pipes feeding Rome's water system had slowly rotted for decades beneath heat and pressure. The empire wasn't facing sudden murder. It was dying from its own invention, one poisoned sip at a time. Lucius urged Cassian to flee before the Senate discovered his growing influence. Instead, Cassian made a dangerous decision. He unveiled his filtration system publicly inside Rome's busiest square. Thousands watched filthy water emerge crystal clear moments later. For one brief second, the crowd looked at him like a savior. The Senate responded before sunset. Soldiers smashed the filters apart while officials accused Cassian of spreading fear to seize political power. Citizens who supported him were beaten publicly. Then the emperor announced a shocking decree. Anyone claiming Rome's water was dangerous would be executed for treason against the empire. That night, Lucius confessed something worse than corruption. The emperor already knew the truth months earlier. Replacing Rome's water system would bankrupt the empire, weaken the military, and trigger rebellions across conquered territories. Millions could die slowly, or Rome could collapse instantly. Cassian suddenly understood the impossible choice. For the first time, Cassian doubted himself. He wandered through crowded streets watching ordinary Romans laugh beside poisoned fountains under golden torchlight. Most people still felt healthy. Most still trusted Rome completely. He realized truth alone wasn't enough to save civilizations. People had to survive hearing it first. Weeks later, the deaths accelerated violently. Senators forgot speeches mid-sentence. Soldiers hallucinated during patrols. Entire neighborhoods developed trembling hands and collapsing memories.
We have to keep
Rome's
moving.
greatest engineers blamed curses from angry gods while smoke from endless funeral pyres darkened the skyline. The empire now looked powerful only from a distance. Lucius organized secret workers across the city, while Cassian redesigned the filtration system larger than before. Underground workshops hammered day and night beneath hidden tunnels. For the first
This one
time,
feels
ordinary
different.
citizens began helping one another instead of
markings
waiting
match
for
the
orders from
scroll.
above.
Yes.
Rome's people were
This is the
changing
key.
faster than Rome itself.
Then we proceed.
Then came betrayal. One of Cassian's closest assistants revealed the underground network to the Senate in exchange for citizenship and gold. Soldiers stormed the catacombs before dawn. Fires consumed months of work while screams echoed through collapsing tunnels. Lucius disappeared during the attack, presumed dead beneath the rubble. Cassian escaped alone into the countryside, carrying only a damaged blueprint, wrapped beneath his cloak. From distant hills, he watched smoke rise above Rome like a dying volcano. For the first time since discovering the poison, he considered letting the empire destroy itself completely. Months later, Rome weakened rapidly without functioning leadership or healthy soldiers. Border invasions intensified. Trade routes collapsed. Yet outside the capital, small villages using Cassian's filtration methods quietly survived. Clean water transformed ordinary communities into thriving refuges while the mighty empire around them slowly decayed from arrogance and denial. An older, exhausted Lucius finally
is it
found
truly
Cassian
you?
beside a remote river settlement.
It is.
He revealed the emperor had died
Why have you
delirious,
come back now?
drinking poisoned
shadows are
water
gathering.
until his final breath.
Lucius.
Then
was
Lucius
Rome
asked the
saved or
question haunting them
replaced?
both.
It was transformed, an empire
Did you
of
save Rome?
ghosts.
Or
what
replace
are
it
we
with something
then?
entirely different?
Survivors.
Years later, travelers crossed ruins of abandoned Roman fountains now covered in vines and silence. Nearby villages built around clean rivers flourished peacefully using Cassian's designs. Standing beside freshwater one final time, he realized civilizations rarely fall from enemies outside their walls. Sometimes they drink their collapse slowly, believing its strength.